Into the quarter-finals here at Players' Championship 3, live from Barnsley Metrodome. And of the 9 players still left in the tournament, we've still got a last 16 tie going on between Danny Noppert and Jamie Lewis. Jamie Lewis 3-1 up in that one. We have got the guy with the highest tournament average, Gary Anderson, the Flying Scotsman. He's already won the UK Open this year. He's already won a Pro Tour title this year. He's averaging 100 for the day, taking on Steve Hine, the Muffin Man. So called because he works at a bakery in the sort of Warwickshire area where they make muffins.
Gary for the ball.
He's got the lowest average of all the players left in the tournament. He's fully 25. About 13 points short of Anderson's
25
ton average. But it matters not, because Steve Hine has won 4 games. He beat Peter Jakes, Robert Owen, the UK Open semi-finalist, Ron the Bomb Muhlenkamp, and Madhouse Richie Edhouse, the Muffin Man,
25,
is having quite the day. It's been a long while since we've seen Steve Hine in this sort of position in a Pro Tour event. He has been picking up odd wins 100. And making board finals, and he's been there or thereabouts, but he hasn't really troubled the back end of a tournament
125
for a long, long while. I mean, 2016, he was still playing Challenge Tour stuff. Had to go to Q School at the start of 2017.
140.
I'm just scrolling through his list of achievements in what has been a very long career, Steve Hine. He's played in all kinds of tournaments, some of the big ones such as the World Championship and all 56. Over the place. But I'm just trying to find the last time we saw him in a quarter-final in a ranking event. Did make the quarter-final of the Midland Open back in 2012,
70.
Although that's obviously not a PDC ranking event. Left himself 166 as a bogey number.
55.
Keep scrolling through the database and I'm struggling to find Steve Hine in a ranking quarter-final.
60.
150 for Anderson. Not going to happen. Oh, there we go.
55.
It was 2010 in May. Steve Hine is in his first ranking quarterfinal in PDC darts for nearly
58.
8 years. Quite astonishing. 20s. Bull. There it is. Now Gary Anderson takes out 95 on the bullseye. He has just beaten Rob Cross with 109 average almost. 6-0 whitewash. And he could not stop hitting the bullseye in that game. He took out a 170 checkout. He hit the bullseye 3 times. He was hitting the bullseye even if he didn't want to hit it. He was going for the 25 58. And he kept hitting the bullseye. Gary Anderson has got his eye in. And right now the bullseye...
96.
Well, it must look about the size of Steve Hine to Gary Anderson right now, because he just cannot miss.
140.
That fateful day in May 2010 when Steve Hine last made a PDC
58.
quarter-final. It was in Austria, Players' Championship there. And of course, we all remember just 2 weeks later when he made the quarterfinals of the Birmingham Bank Holiday Bonanza.
59.
Of course we do. Never ever heard of that tournament before in my life.
51.
And you know, he lost to Tony Randall in that tournament. It was won by Tony Randall. Do you know who else made the semi-finals? Scott Rand, another Warwickshire darts legend, as Ando fires in. The first 180 of this encounter leaves himself 64.
58.
Got another quarter-final that's underway. Richard North, former finalist on the Pro Tour. He's 1-0 up on Jeffrey de Graaf. 8-8 for Gary Anderson. Zoom time. Wrong side of the dart, though. Hine looking at a big one just to hold his throw and level the game. It's not going to happen. Anderson, it's not his favourite part of the board. That sort of
43.
bottom left section, double 16, double 8, but it doesn't really matter when he's playing like this. Because you think it's going to go. Well, you think it's going to go.
No score.
But you'd be wrong if you thought that. Hine has not given himself the best chance of taking this out. Got to be treble 14, surely. Where's he gone? Oh, he's missed it by a distance.
86.
Right, have another crack at it. And another one. And another one. Oh,
8 score.
dear, Gary Anderson's missed 7 darts at that double 8, and Hine to steal this
Game
away,
shot.
and he makes it look very, very simple. 1-1. Gary Anderson in the Premier League, of course. There he is. One of the triumvirate there that we use to promote the Festival of Darts that makes its way to Nottingham on Thursday night. Fresh from a phenomenal night of darts this week in Leeds.
180.
As Anderson fires in number 2. He has hit a lot
99.
of 180s today, has Gary Anderson. That's his 15th. In fact... Oh, look at this! 174, what a setup! Now, it leaves him 32. It's that corner of the board where he had all the problems in the previous leg. Double 8 again.
24.
Well, if I was Gary Anderson, I'd just be leaving the bullseye, because he hits that with regularity today. But double 8 is proving to be an absolute mare.
98. Game
There we
shot.
go. He stuck it in the bit of the 4 section that isn't mangled up at the top there, and it's 2-1 to Gary Anderson.
55.
Gary Anderson, 15 180s today. Roughly every 12 visits to the board, he's chucking in a 180. Not bad going. Average 101 in beating Terry Jenkins. We saw that. That was his opening round. He was 5-1 down in that game and turned that
98.
match around. Then he saw Gary Eastwood with a 94 average. That's been his worst performance of the day in terms of the stats. It's still a 6-4 win.
134.
He averaged 103 nearly in beating Simon Stevenson 6-4, and then almost 109 in that absolute obliteration of the world
40.
champion Rob Cross. Can tell you that Jamie Lewis has completed the last 16 victory against Danny Knopp at 6-1. Jamie Lewis, the world championship
100.
semi-finalist. He has averaged 95, 96 in that game. It's pretty
57.
decent. Yes. 127 and game. Oh no,
87.
he'll set it up. No need to go for the bullseye. We should have done because he can't miss it.
58.
Yes,
shot.
more like it, Gary Anderson. Break of throw 3-1. And the Flying Scotsman. Can anybody stop him today? The world champion could not do it. Simon Stevenson, Gary Eastwood, Terry Jenkins. None of them could do it. Steve Hine, at the minute, does not look like he has enough to do it. He should have won the one leg
140.
he's lost, Gary Anderson. And having beaten Rob Cross 6-0... There we go.
96.
Some support for the Muffin Man. He should probably have a read of that, Steve Hine, because he hasn't got going at all at the
121.
minute. Let's go home, Steve.
57.
Not over yet, though. Something drastic needs to change, though, if he is going to turn this game around, because Gary Anderson is just bossing it. Look at this. Oh, it's just too easy. Make it
180.
harder. It's too easy for him. 180, number 3. All right, yes, let's go, I know, Scott.
140.
20 for tops.
Game
Yep.
shot.
12 darter. Gary Anderson motoring. And Gary Anderson in this kind of mood. Look, we know he's got it in him to win these titles. When he's focused and
140.
interested and his back's not causing him problems and he's not complaining about not having slept or eaten or done anything for several months. I mean, look at
180.
this. It's too good. 180, number 4. Gary Anderson said he was scratchy. He wasn't at his best, and he
125.
still won the UK Open. He said, "Oh, I know it sounds cocky to suggest that I can win these titles when I'm playing nowhere near my best, but when I really get on it, if I really dedicate myself to this
95.
game, I can do some special things. Well, he's already doing special things. It's pretty special today. He missed the first weekend of UK Open
99.
qualifiers, turned up on the fourth event, having not played the first three, and just won it. Had a couple of first-round exits the following 2 days. But a quarter-final in Barnsley on the Sunday, here at the Metrodome, in the second Players' Championship event. Won the UK Open.
97.
He's in there fighting in the Premier League, not playing his best, but still picking up points. Another 18, and he's not missing the bullseye, is he? Oh, he is! Now, Hine. Muffin tops. Well, not happening,
Game
but double
shot.
tennis. Yep. Yep.
140.
Well, I was astounded that he didn't follow it in, because the way he's been playing today, if the first dart is where he
100.
wants it, it's just regulation stuff. That's a blocker dart, so he'll come downstairs. And the 19s are working for him as well.
96.
Peter Wright 2-0 up on Brendan Dolan. Richard North 3-1 up on Jeffrey de Graaf.
60.
Our semi-final lineup will be set up by this game, those 2 games, as Richard North goes 4-1 up. And we're also waiting for Joe
58.
Cullen versus Jamie Lewis. They are the players still involved here at Players Championship 3. Steve Hine is still involved, but for how much longer?
60.
He's managed to pinch a couple of legs, but he needs 4 more. And can that be done against a man who is just playing on another
171.
planet right now? It's another big visit. 171 for Gary Anderson. Leaves him double 18
97.
for a 13 dart leg. Double 9. Still double 9.
18.
Still double 9. Well, if he hadn't messed about on doubles, this would be an average up around the sort of figures we saw him throw against Rob Cross when he did
89.
him 6-0. As it is, it's still around the 100 mark. And that's with a lot of missed darts at double. Double 9 again. Oh, my word.
10.
Oh, he's just gone the wrong
70.
side of that dart. He gave himself a chance there, Steve Hine. It would have been for a break of throwing 4-3. Is that the chance that he
Game shot.
needed to take? Because Gary Anderson's a leg away from the semi-finals now.
$180.
And there's a maximum for Steve Hine. The Muffin Man comes to the party with a max, but he's got to win 4 consecutive legs, and Gary Anderson's just going to chuck something big back at him, isn't he?
140.
Yeah, top 40. Semi-finalist at the Masters this year, quarter-finalist at the World Championship. That's where his back
96.
problems really did start to become evident in that game against Phil Taylor. Couldn't stop the power going on to the final in his last ever professional tournament.
77.
But he still has this unbeaten record against Rob Cross, the world champion who's beaten every
99.
top player in darts apart from Gary Anderson. And today he's emphatically put the world number 3 in his place with a 6-0 battering. And he may well go and claim his 3rd title of the year today.
43.
Because I would not want to run into Gary Anderson today. Double 19 or 15. Oh, okay. No, he's gone for the bullseye. 25 would have left him 60, which would leave him a very simple 2-darter. As it is, he may have to use all 3 darts.
97.
Treble 13. Single 18. Double top. Muffin tops. No.
51.
20s or 18s. He's got options. Yeah, why not go for the 20s? You're smashing in the 60s with regularity, but it's not
94.
quite enough. Well, quite, Dennis.
Game
He
shot.
knows. He knows. But Steve Hine's pretty deadly on the double 10 just there. 5-3. He's got one of the legs he needs. He needs 3 more. And Gary Anderson has the throw in 2 of them. Hashtag sick for all
131.
you kids out there.
137. 134.
Flying Scotsman looking to finish this one in a hurry. Gary Eastwood did take 4 legs off him.
134.
Terry Jenkins got 5 legs off him. Simon Stevenson got 4 legs off him. He has had to work hard, even though he's still been throwing 100 average for the day.
140.
And 3 visits with 2 big trebles in each of them means that Gary Anderson is on an 11 darter to close out the
100.
match 6-3. Hine is ready. He's ready to pounce if there's a mistake. Will there be a mistake? Double 18. There is no mistake. It is an 11 darter. The Flying Scotsman Gary Anderson is through to the semi-finals. A 99 average. He is flying, is Gary Anderson, and it might well be a 3rd title of the year come, what, about 5:30 this afternoon.